Hi, welcome to the Stacking Cup simulation here. This project follows Andrew Stacking Cups here, Act 1. So again, as if you are not familiar with this lesson, what this does is it counts, actually it shows you one cup and the difference in the heights here, and it stacks these cups up. Now it asks you, when are these cups going to be the same height? So we can see here these are stacking up according to the lip size. Now it also gives you a little bit of information about height of both of these cups here. So what we're going to do to start out this program is in Scratch, I have uploaded a styrofoam cup and a solo cup or blue plastic cup here as sprites. So down below, you can upload a sprite from online. Now the first thing let's go ahead and do is program this styrofoam cup. So what we're going to want to do here is under the code, we're going to come to events. Typically we start this program or any program with a green flag here in Scratch. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start our cup here at a certain coordinate. I would suggest at the bottom of the screen. So keeping in mind that Scratch is a big coordinate grid. So looking here, this coordinate, -114 and -125, brings me kind of to the side of the screen here. We'll do the same thing now, clicking on my blue cup. And I'm going to have the coordinates for this cup be a little bit further to the right, keeping in mind this coordinate grid. So let's do 59 and -122. So placing these, again, the coordinates aren't totally of importance, but putting these in a starting point for our cup. The other thing we want to do is we want to set the starting height of these cups. So coming into variables, we're going to hit make a variable, and you'll see I have 4 variables within here: number of cups, solo height, total number of cups. We also need our styrofoam height. So notice when these things are checked, they're showing up on the screen to the right. I'm going to check these 3 here and arrange these. So styrofoam height will be here, solo height will be here, total number of cups we'll put above. So the first thing we want to do is, coming back to this project here, our initial height for our first cup is 9.2 centimeters. So we're going to set our styrofoam height to 9.2 initially. We'll come back to our blue cup here and we'll set our solo height, or whatever we wanted to call this, to 12.1. As we can see, that was the initial height here for a blue solo cup. Alrighty, next we want this picture of our cup to kind of stick, thinking of it like a sticker. So we're going to come into our pen tool and we're going to hit the button that says stamp. So what this is going to do is it's going to stamp this like it's a sticker right in the exact spot that it's at. Now we can do the same thing over here as well. Sorry, let's do that here. Let's stamp on our styrofoam cup here to start. All right, so the first question we want to ask under sensing is we want to ask, how many more cups are you stacking? And the answer that they type in is going to be stored here. So let's go ahead and set the number of cups to the answer that they type in. So if they're wanting to stack 3 more cups, we should have a total number of cups here of 4, since we started with 1. So let's reset our total now. Our total number of cups to the number of cups that they type in plus 1 more, as we started with a cup in the start. So let's see what's happening here. How many cups are you stacking? I'm going to hit 3. And my total number of cups then should be 4 in both of these piles. And the initial heights have remained the same because we haven't gone further here. Alrighty, what is next? So now we've got our numbers here. Now we need to actually do the stacking. So in order to do the stacking, first off, let's come into control here and grab a repeat block. So we want to repeat, in this case, the number of cups that they typed in. We want this to stack that number of cups. So if they typed in 3, we want to repeat this thing 3 times. If they typed in 8, we want to repeat this 8 times. So we want to put in here the number of cups is how many times we're repeating this stacking. Now we've got to play with how high this is going to be, but we're going to be changing not our x coordinates. We don't want to go left and right. We want to stack up. So as I've played with this number, I've found that moving my cup up about 15 pixels here puts it up about, that's about how tall this lip is about 15 pixels. And as we also stack, once we get to a new stack place here, we also want to stamp a new cup. So we're going to move up, stamp, to show kind of this growing effect. And we'll see kind of how this works in a second. Alrighty, from here, at the same time, now we want to change as well the height of my styrofoam cup. And if we come back to our picture here, this is kind of like our slope. We're going to be changing this by 1.3. Each time we stack, it's going up a height of that lip number. So 1.3 will come in here. All right, let's run this and see how it's working. Okay, we're stacking 3 more cups, so we should have a total of 4. And notice how that grew very quickly. Went up 15 and stamped 3 more times to give us this total of 4. And this is putting our height at 13.1. So a couple things we might want to do at the start. We might want to come in here to pen and put an erase right at the start of our code so that when we hit the green flag, it goes back to the start. All right, wonderful. We have the styrofoam cup coded. Now we need to move over to our blue plastic cup. So the tricky part about this is we want these cups to stack at the exact same time, depending on the answer that is received within this code here. So how we can do this in Scratch is using something called a broadcast. So I'm going to pull this out here. Now, how this works is we're going to broadcast a message. Let's do it right after we figure out how many cups this person wants. Let's just call this stack plastic. We're going to stack those blue cups. So what's going to happen is after we figure out how many cups we're going to stack, it's going to send this internal message through Scratch. That's going to be called stack your plastic cups. So it's looking for this block right here. When I receive stack plastic, this message, whatever's below here is going to happen. So when we receive this message, we want to first of all stamp our initial cup, and then we want similar code to what we've done before. So we want this to repeat, just like we have on the other screen, the number of cups the person types in. And in this case, notice how my lip height is a little bit smaller. So rather than changing our Y by 15, I found 10 is a better lip height for these blue cups. And the kids can play with this as well. And we'll stamp again. And now we want to change this variable. We want to change the solo height. Coming back to our picture here, the lip height is 0.8 in this case. So you want to change this by 0.8 every cup that we stack. All right, let's try all this. How many more cups? Let's try 3. And we should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, 1, 2, 3, 4. Noticing the heights are not quite the same, so we could keep playing with this. Let's try 5. Getting closer, we could keep going to figure out when are these heights going to be the same. Now, one thing I really like about this program actually is the idea of commenting for kids to give them kind of more sense making of these pieces. So in order to comment on a project, you can right click on a block and hit add comment. And I would want kids to explain this initial solo height. What does this mean in this program? In this case, I want them to explain that this part of our code, this is the initial height. This is like the b value in the equation, y equals mx plus b. So this gives a little bit more understanding to the pieces of their code. Now, which part in here indicates our slope? Well, the actual movement is this 10, but this 0.8 is more so representing that slope. So this is the width of the lip of each cup. This is like a slope, or the constant rate of change. This is typically given the variable m in the equation, y equals mx plus b. So as well as creating this program, students are also making sense of the pieces here. They should understand that the piece that is static, that is changing, is the slope, but the piece that is staying the same here is this initial height. Fabulous. Give this program a try. Best of luck.